hear what I hear.
Welcome back to the Strongest Guild on YouTube. What's up, guys? My name is Soul. If you're new to the channel, join the guild, hit that subscribe button. Now recently, Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail, was interviewed in France, and while lots of questions were straight terrible knowledge about the shonen genre, Hiro did answer with some great stuff. I know I should have been the one to interview him, but this video we're going to take a walk inside the creator's mind and find out exactly what he had to say about Fairy Tail. Also, my next Fairy Tail video, I'll be showing you all the brand new 100 words Fairy Tail art book that was recently released in Japan. But if you want to see it before then, you're gonna have to go check out Anime Amino. I was seriously surprised just how many of you guys are already following me on the app, and they've added a ton of new features since we last talked about it, not to mention the community that's only for us, Fairy Tail Amino, which has almost hit 100k members, and I've just been scrolling through tons of posts on there recently. If you're new to Amino, they have tons of different communities that you can go join, but of course I'm mainly on the one designated for anime fans. It's full of theories, fan art, new posts, and all of that is also included in Fairy Tail Amino as well. They've even added public chat rooms that you can join, and there are just a ton of random Fairy Tail chats to jump into. There are plenty of quizzes and polls about the characters or Fairy Tail ending songs, or even Urza's armor. Pretty much anything you may be interested in, they probably have it. And Amino also added a live layer that I personally think is one of the coolest features that they've added, where you can see just how many people are chatting or reading posts or even taking the same quizzes that you might be taking. It's pretty neat, so make sure to go and follow my profile, check out the new Fairy Awards book, and I'll be chatting with you guys on Anime Amino. You can download the app in the description and join Fairy Tail Amino as well. Now on to Hiro's interview. When asked about the characters, he revealed a lot of his own thoughts about creating each of them, and we all know each of these characters are based off of Hiro drinking in Japanese bars with his friends, and also even Hiro himself. Like, he jokingly said that he's Ichiya, but then later said that Natsu was pretty much his younger self when he was like 15 years old in high school or whatever. And this insight into the purposes behind our favorite characters, it was very interesting. Starting off with Gray, Hiro said he never expected all the girls to like Gray. Like, he never expected him to be so popular. Hiro just thought he's the silly character who randomly gets undressed. But then he realized the success of Gray's character mostly amongst the female audience in Japan, and he pushed that aspect of him even further, which is probably why we see him get undressed more and more as the series went on. For instance, in Dragon Cry, we just saw it recently, and it's kind of funny when you think about it. I mean, obviously, Hiro intended FT to have mainly a male audience with the way he draws his girl characters, but Gray might have been the gateway to Fairy Tail becoming so popular amongst the general audience. Now, I saw Dragon Cry in theaters in Japan like maybe 8 times, okay? There were plenty of guys and girls at the theater. Fairy Tail has a massive audience in Japan, and maybe Gray was a huge part of that happening. As for Urza, he said she is the character who served to advance the story because initially the characters had no goal in moving forward. Urza allowed him to establish goals for the new characters as well. He was also talking about how women's stance in society has evolved so much over the past 10 years in real life and become so important in modern society. So he thought it would be interesting to have Urza, a strong and charismatic and dominant female, in the same guild as the hero, Natsu, to worry the hero and basically keep the hero grounded. So this is the reasoning behind why we always see Urza taking charge over Natsu and Gray, and it's very fascinating. The hero thought of her this way rather than simply giving her an aggressive personality from the beginning. Like, he actually thought about all of this going into Urza's character, and it's amazing how she's developed over the course of the series. Urza's become such a dominant main female in the series, and I think it's really impacted a lot of people, and a lot of people love Urza. She's their favorite character, and of course I think Urza is amazing. Urza's such an awesome character from the first time we saw her. Now this one's pretty funny. He said for Happy he simply liked cats, so I guess we're just lucky that Hiro Mashima liked cats. That's the reason we got Happy, and he imagined the character would be the match for Natsu's true duo, and their magic would be something interesting, which I would say turned out pretty well. Speaking of what happened when Happy did what he ended up doing in Dragon Cry, which I won't spoil for you guys, but that was pretty freaking epic, and I would definitely say Natsu and Happy are the duo. So Wendy is a character I'm not personally a fan of, but Hiro said the idea came from wanting to see a little girl who was weak in appearance but fighting hard in like a little sister sort of role for the guild. I mean, I get the whole concept, but I felt like it was an anime trope that was never really needed in Fairy Tail, and Natsu and Lucy would have been fine on their own. Now I know I'm going to anger a lot of people saying that if you like Wendy, you like Wendy, but she's not exactly my cup of tea. Hiro said Mira Jane would be the little ray of sunshine that a rogue guild needed, and Juvia developed unexpectedly to the point that Hiro didn't think she would be so important in the series. Imagine that, Juvia not even being a main character in Hiro's mind when he first introduced her in the manga. So when Juvia came face to face with Gray, Hiro realized how much potential the character had, and he conceived Juvia originally as this cold, rather impassive character who wouldn't let herself be impressed. But from the moment she met Gray, Hiro decided on a vast personality change and the weakness of the character, and this is where Juvia came to light. I mean, Juvia's obsession with Gray became a Fairy Tail staple, and it's crazy to think that it was not all planned out from the beginning. Like, that's just insane that it's just something that happened, and now it's something that Fairy Tail fans freaking obsess over. And Mira Jane too. I mean, in the end, she wasn't exactly the ray of sunshine, but more like a raging devil girl with this insane strength. And it's just so awesome to see how these characters came to light when their personality wasn't originally developed that way. Hiro also said something that really resonated with me, that the humor of the Happy Natsu-Lucy relationship triangle was a pleasure for a mangaka to do. And for me, Fairy Tail's always been about Natsu and Lucy's adventure from day one. Seeing them go on random quests and crack jokes is just so enjoyable for me, and you can feel that when Hiro's enjoying writing these characters, that the audience does too, and the synergy just shows so well on screen. Now for my princess, Best Girl, Hiro was explaining how Lucy is the character that the reader sees the world through. They see Fairy Tail through Lucy, and the reader has to be entertained as well, so he drew her beautifully. And someone from the audience just yells out "Opai," and he's like "Arigato." That was freaking hilarious. At some point, he was talking about drawing the characters, and he couldn't really get any more risque with them, but he obviously does want to include more lewd stuff. I mean, just look at his Twitter account. It's filled with Natsu and Lucy naked together, Jerza, and just so much more stuff. Now, he did talk about NaLu, mentioning that they look the best, pretty much mentioning his personal opinion on the topic. And Lisana fans, had they not freaked out at Hiro, I honestly think the ending would have been much more concrete between Natsu and Lucy. It's a lot to go into, and we're going to talk about exactly what he said about NaLu in the next video, but I can confirm that Hiro himself obviously ships them. But I mean, like I said, Hiro has filled his own Twitter with NaLu moments. We're just waiting for the kiss at this point. You guys make sure to go follow me on Twitter at soul_animation. The new Fairy Tail season will also be out on crunchyroll.com/soul. All those links will be in the description, and look out for this next video with Hiro talking about NaLu and everything. Can't wait to bring you guys that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Ja. Mata.
これ罰ゲーム受けた